Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly oracle card reading. And for this reading, I'm using my Earth Magic oracle cards. So I just want to get a little bit of an overview into the upcoming week and just see kind of what's coming up for us, what the theme of the week is going to be, so we can be prepared. Okay. So I think I'll just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so starting with the first card represents Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. And we have the Shaman card, and this card is about ancient healing wisdom. And ultimately the message of this card has to do with it can sometimes come up for us if we're feeling a little under the weather. So if you're feeling like you're coming down with a cold or a flu, or you've got aches and pains, or whatever your health challenges are, this card can come up to encourage you to kind of go deeper and look deeper at what some of your symptoms could mean. So the one of the things with this card is that any kind of illness is spiritual illness. Ultimately, that is the source. So even something like a cold or a flu or something, like your immune system gets weak when there's some sort of spiritual illness of some sort. And I'm trying to think of like a specific example of that, but simply just feeling maybe disconnected can, or feeling disconnected from your spirit, from the earth, from your ancestors. All those things can cause kind of a weakening in your immune system. And I realize now that I say that out loud, that maybe sounds a little bit out there, but these things, you know, your immune system is affected by so many things, and how you feel, you know, spiritually is one thing that can affect your immune system. So so the message behind this card, as we're starting the week, is take care of yourself, not just physically but also spiritually. And just like you probably make sure that you eat nutritious food, and that you get exercise, and that you get lots of rest and everything, you also want to do things to nourish your soul. So whatever that looks like for you. For me, this might be, shamanic journeying, or dream work, dream journaling, meditation, just taking a nap. But the suggestion behind this card is to make sure that you really nourish your soul and take care of your spirit this week. Okay, so moving on to the middle of the week, so Wednesday and Thursday, we've got autumnal equinox, and this card is all about release. So as we move through the week, we have this theme of release and letting go. So letting go of what we no longer need, what might not be working for us anymore, but also just letting go of what is gone, what's in the past, even if that might be something that's really good. Being able to recognize that the present moment is more important than the past, and it's more important than the future, and being able to release what has passed is a big part of that. And it's also just kind of connecting it back to the shaman, excuse me, back to the shaman card, which is all about, healing and nourishing your spirit and your soul. Release has a lot to do with that. So I actually feel like this release card is also about, like on a physical level, releasing toxins. So if you're thinking of doing a detox, or just changing up your diet so it's healthier, that could be a really good thing to do this week. But I also feel like this is about releasing particular patterns that might not work for you, and just acknowledging that the past is the past. And then as you move into the weekend, ooh, we've got Volcano. Just gonna shuffle these cards over a bit. So Volcano is all about volatility. And Volcano can come up if you've been suppressing something for a while, and then it kind of comes forth with almost an explosive, you know, volcanic kind of energy. I feel like this card is simply a reminder that if you don't deal with something and if you stuff something and refuse to look at it, it's not going to make it go away. And it's interesting that it comes after the card of release. So this is just a reminder that when you're letting go of things, when you're releasing things, especially when you're releasing the past, or if you're releasing, you know, negative emotion, etc., you really want to be sure that you don't release anything, try to release anything prematurely, or kid yourself that you've let go of something when really you haven't. Because the result of that is that whatever you think you've let go of but you haven't, you know, maybe you've just kind of repressed it instead of released it, it can sort of come through sideways in a very dramatic kind of volcanic sort of fashion. So I want to say more about that. I do feel like the theme this week is release, don't repress. That's what I'm getting from these two cards. Release, don't repress. But the Volcano card, it's also very positive. So as we move into the weekend, there is a burst of energy. So there's a lot of energy, which you might need to dispel in a physical way, like, you know, going for a run or going for a hike or exercising or something, or even just like cleaning your house or something where you're moving around and doing physical things. But I feel like the theme here is definitely healing. Just looking at the Shaman card, the Release card, the Volatility card, I feel like there's things that for many of us need to be brought to the surface, and the work that we do at the beginning of the week is very, very helpful, and it kind of paves the way for the stuff that's really buried down deep to come forward. And sometimes this can feel unpleasant in the moment. Other times it can feel like a release. Like, even though this is a really volatile, powerful card, there's a real sense of release and relief from letting those things come to the surface. It's almost, actually, I often think of this card, it's very similar to the Tower card, and it's also symbolic of like an orgasm, like this sort of, there's pent-up energy and then that energy gets released. So it's not necessarily a negative kind of thing, like the Volcano we think of as being kind of scary and the Tower is kind of scary. It's not necessarily that. It's more like enough energy has accumulated and now it needs to be released in some way or another. So it can also be a really good time for creative expression, to do something creative, to kind of channel that energy into creating something and into expressing yourself in a creative way through either writing or artwork or something. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick step back at these cards. I think I've said everything I need to say. Please feel free to add anything in the comment section if you have any ideas or you've noticed something here. It's sometimes hard for me in just 10 minutes to really get everything from these cards. I think just ultimately this is going to be a week of a lot of healing. And for some of us that's going to feel wonderful and it's going to feel easy and good. And for some of us it might be a rockier road, but I feel like this is short term. This isn't something that's going to go throughout the month. It's just a few days of healing and, you know, releasing things that no longer work for you. So I hope you found this reading helpful. My name is Kate. I'm from dailytarotgirl.com, and thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely week.